Welcome to Channel Sport on Sunday. I'm Ken Ochonogo. We thought it was going to be a clean sweep because when a team goes out there, they work as a team, they fight as a team. They even plan as a team before going out. And when they get there, they win or lose as a team. But that is not how it was in the CAF elections. Intrigues, politics, regionalism. It also have to do with language, because in Africa, we're talking about the Anglophone and the Francophone. But the man at the helm of affairs did come back with a new team. Some breath of fresh air. Motsepe, like we say, is back. Samuel Eto'o-Fields. We'll talk about his story. The man whose name was removed from contesting went to CAF, and less than 7 days to the elections, his name was, he won at CAF. And today, he's an executive member of the Confederation, executive member of the committee of the Confederation of African Football, CAF. But our own man, by the whiskers, couldn't make it. We look inwards and look at the 23-man team finally. We told you last week that 16 has to go out of the 39 that Chilgel, initially invited. How they pruned it, I don't know, because they didn't have opportunity for them to play, to kick the ball. So they sat down somewhere, drew up a team, and then sat down somewhere and dropped the finalist. So how that came to be, probably we're looking at it as, okay, fine, probably somebody might be injured, which of course happened to Taylor. And then, so that was why we have that pool of 39 players. In Formula One, Lando Norris last year, was the man who gave chase to Verstappen. At a point, he gained that momentum, but Verstappen came back to win the championship. At the farthest corner of the world in Australia early this morning, a few hours ago, Lando Norris says, this time around, I think I won't be coming from behind, because for the very first time in history, he's topping the leaderboard. A lot of us hopes for Lewis Hamilton. But probably the Ferrari team didn't get it right with their choice of tires. But let's see what is happening. It's a long race. This is just the beginning. We can look at it. Jimmy's in the house. He will look at those things. He's the Formula One man. I don't want to say he's the Formula V man, but he's the Formula One man. The Rivers United are in Maiduguri today to take on El Kanemi. Remo Stars did lose to Better Insurance, and probably we thought, we were looking at that, hey, maybe they will drop more points, but I don't think so. I'm seeing them at the finish line. But who are the teams that will join Remo Stars if it continues this way on the continent of Africa? So that is where, at a point, Shooting Stars looked, as if unstoppable at that number 2. But they dropped now, Rivers there. Yesterday, Rangers, trounced Kwara United. And when that was happening, I was thinking about the whole affair. They trounced Kwara United by 3-0. So you see the log. I'd see where the flying antelopes from the cathedral in Enugu, where they are now. But then we moved down. To Indian Wells. Yesterday, something happened. I tuned into, to follow up what was happening in Indian Wells, the semi-finals. And I found out that, Jack Draper did win the first set by 6-1. But in that second set, Alcaraz was there. 5-0 was leading 5-0 and took it, 6-love. And all the comments, sit down, sometimes don't allow these commentators, don't listen to them, because they now said, they are, the condition that Jack Draper is now, we can only see one winner in this and stuff, he has lost momentum. Only for me myself, I said, okay, so we are going to see Alcaraz in the final. The man who said he's one of the most complete players we've seen, in recent times, in this era, only for me to look at the end of the day that he was knocked out. So it's going to be, a Holger Rune taking on Jack Draper in the finals of Indian Wells. I mean, certain things do come in and it surprises you. And in England, of course, in Spain, Mbappe continues goal scoring spree with a brace. That is good. Having been called back, having been recalled into the France national team. And then Neymar was there, and then it's not going to make it. For Mason Greenwood, we thought, how? The man said, I'm going to Jamaica. I'm going to Jamaica. England, they don't want me. I'm going to Jamaica. Steve McLaren, I'm coming to meet in Jamaica. So let us see. The paperwork are still on. He has declared intentions. I say he wants to switch from England to Jamaica, and then it is all left to him according to McLaren. When he's ready, we are ready. We can have him, for these qualifiers and also for the CONCACAF Gold Cup. So basically, Mason Greenwood is up there, and then maybe one leg in England, one leg in Jamaica. Where he will land, we do not know. But his team, Olympique Marseille, will be taking on PSG today. Let's hope he goes over there and shines and let them know why. Tell England what they are missing. But in England, like I said earlier, Carabao Cup final, very special trophy to me, because I tell you, that was the day I made my debut on Channels Television on 29th of February 2004, some 21 years ago. It was the Carabao Cup final being played between Bolton and Middlesbrough. I was talking about Steve McLaren then, because he was in charge of Middlesbrough, and then Big Sam Allardyce was in charge of Bolton. That was on 21 years back, 29th February. So 21 years on, and then it is Liverpool taking on Newcastle. Liverpool are the defending champions. Don't do liver twist. Newcastle has not won a major trophy since 1955. 70 years. Please allow them this. But yeah, it is either you are prepared or not prepared. So in this case, that you do them no favors. So that is not the thing. And that is what we are going to take. Jimmy's in the house. Later on, we'll move on to UK, United Kingdom, because Dafil Tite will be there to dissect. I tell you this, who does it better than him when it comes to talking about, the super egos, the flying egos, everything. He follows there. I don't know whether he sleeps. He just follows. He has how do I say it? Man, not talk. Jimmy, how are you?
Yeah, very well. Never a pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
But I have a question for you.
Why?
Newcastle. You said Newcastle, they haven't won anything major since 70 years, for 70 years now.
Yes.
Right? What about the intercity fairs?
Yeah, that is. that was
I wish I
that is the trophy. Okay, they and Arsenal have been using that trophy.
69-70. they know how to do it well. Thank you.
Jimmy, this life is not fair. Liverpool has.
Yeah, you want to compare Arsenal with Newcastle?
No, wait first. I'm not talking about Liverpool and Newcastle. I'm talking about Arsenal. Arsenal is not in this conversation.
But that was where you headed initially. Okay.
They have 19 league titles. Newcastle has how many? Newcastle has six league titles.
I think 4.
Yeah, okay, the four league titles. Newcastle have 4. Okay. FA Cup is FA Cup that Newcastle has 6. You understand?
Yeah, 6.
They have 6 FA Cup. And that is, putting them there.
Yeah.
Champions League, Liverpool has 6. How many does Newcastle has? 0. League, this trophy that they are fighting for.
One, yeah.
Liverpool has 10.
And they are the dominant one.
Newcastle has only played 2 finals. They played 2 finals.
Higher than United, higher than Arsenal.
You understand?
So it looks more like that cup.
So why, for goodness sake,
they should just allow Newcastle.
Let them be fair.
I agree with you.
Is this life fair? This life is not fair. Go on, Jimmy.
I agree with you. You look at it and basically it looks like a Liverpool trophy to win. But if you also look at the way Newcastle have played in the last 18 months under Eddie Howe, I mean, you see that, okay, there's been marked improvement. They are going for, contention at different levels. They played in the Champions League. Okay, now we're talking about playing in the final. And with the way Isaac has been able to, dominate the headlines when it comes to scoring goals, toe-to-toe with Haaland. I mean, for me, it's toe-to-toe. When you look at it, basically, some will tell you Haaland, they prefer Isak to Haaland. And I feel at this point in time...
What about Salah?
Well, yes.
I think Salah is topping the list.
Salah, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, but maybe because Salah is being seen as a playmaker more than even a striker. Yeah, so... But for three of them, they are fantastic. And I feel Newcastle has a very huge chance against Liverpool. But if Liverpool, does try to avenge what happened to them against PSG.
No, but PSG have played them in the... That is football, because when people play, they score. In the first leg, PSG has every reason to win. But Liverpool took their chance.
At the end of the day, it's almost like we are making excuses for them, because they top the 36 team table. Did they play the other 35 teams?
So did they play the other 35 teams?
When push got to show, they couldn't deliver, and that's what matters. You compare Dembele and Salah at this point in time.
Yes.
Maybe a month or two before now, you probably will say, okay, Salah is going in for Ballon d'Or. Right now, you can see what...
Daffy is ready. Daffy, let us just intro, because before we want to come to Daffy, please, I know Daffy is ready for us to join. I mean, and his head is boiling. But I want us to start with, looking at the... the Nigerian sports journalism in diaspora, the Nigerian sports journalists in diaspora, the journalists in diaspora, they said they came in to say, look, it is better for us to start from the grassroots. That is where it is. That is where you discover. That is where, understand. It is not when they're already shining. If you do not discover, if you do not plant, you don't sow. And that is what the grassroots sport development is all about. So they say, who are those who have been doing that? See, when it comes to that, on channels television, not just as our police, but our personnel are into grassroots. And one of us did get that award. The creamiest, we call him the creamiest one, Cecilia. I don't know that she was honored. She won the television category of the grassroots. As journalist award. Those in diaspora came together to say, let us honor those at home. And that is what, got in. If we can have, if we are ready, probably we can get those one. But if it is not, okay, that is it.
Okay. In our various media organizations should go back and begin to re-energize and retool and refocus and direct attention to grassroots reporting. Because Nigeria is evolving. Whether you like it or not, we are going to come back to the realities of the fact that it is the foundation that will make the whole and the property that we want to aspire to as a nation. We have to go back to the basics, and to the glory of God, some of us can beat our chest. For instance, Rantilagide can testify. We started reporting somebody that grown as big as Stephen Keshi. From his principal companies playing for St. Viva. I covered Stephen Keshi playing for St. Viva. I covered Luka Obadi playing for, Gobi College of those days. So that is the place where sportsmen and women evolve. We were here in 1985 when MK Abiola sponsored the first all Nigeria something junior athletics that produced the generation of Chidi Imo, Fadila Tukunkoya, Shadia Shomuni, a lot of them. Those days, we saw them as kids, and we also followed and nurtured them grow. And that is your satisfaction, that is your joy as a professional sports writer or editor, that you were there at the beginning. So, enough of this era of every attention, every airtime, every media space donated to the Arsenal, Man U's, Chelsea, and all of these clubs who don't even know whether we breathe or existed. So God will help us, God will help Nigerian journalism, and God will help Nigerian sports writers. So once again, I thank our colleagues in the diaspora, and I wish them more, and I hope we keep doing this.
Immediately I got the invitation, what went into my mind was that, these are brothers are doing well. Somewhere they are doing well. And it now came to their imagination that it will mean nothing if you are doing well and back home something is missing. See, in the homeland, they are present there to reflect, to have an impact in the homeland. I think That must have informed their decision to institute this program. What they need from us is prayers. That does it. Prayers. Let's be praying for them. Let's be praying for them. I pray for the chairman. May his assignment in Lagos be successful. Let's be praying for our brothers and sisters in diaspora.
One more time, a round of applause for Cecilia.
I am not surprised you are winning this award. I have met you several. You have interviewed me several times, and you are a brave journalist. So if this award, best grassroots sport reporter television award, it's for you sitting there. I am one of the people that will appreciate it. I thank those who did this. It's a job well done. And if you, I congratulate you. She has interviewed me several times. No, this is not the same. This is the sport writers award. Yeah, congratulations. Very much.
Yeah, stand up for Cecilia. Stand up. We keep on winning it. All right, now let's go to the United Kingdom because our Daffy Tito is waiting for us. Hello, Daffy. How are you? Don't call him the big Daff. Daffy, how are you?
I'm fine. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me, and good afternoon to all the viewers as well. Thank you.
Yeah, and Jimmy is also here, so he's also looking at you.
Okay, Jimmy, don't mind me. Jimmy, good afternoon.
You are forgiven.
Daffy, we both of us have been on this conversation since last week. That was where we were having 39, and right now, I mean, it has come down to the list that go there to go and do the battle for Nigeria. You have seen the list.
Yes.
Generally, what is your take on this?
It's, it looks like we're getting a bit of strength in depth in our players that are available to us. And to look at 23 out of all of our players around the world, not just at home and around the world, there will always be some big names that will miss out. And this thing, we have a new coach, Eric Shelley. He's an unknown entity to Nigerians. I'm not saying that he's unknown in football, but many Nigerians, when he was appointed, we're saying, who is this? Who is this? He's not somebody that is known. Yes, he has managed the Malian national team, but he will come with his own philosophy. He will come with his own way that he wants to play. He will come with the players that he wants. There are some, when he chose his 23, there will always be subjective analysis. There will always be people that will say, why not this person? Why not that person? And yes, there are some people who many people thought would make this squad, but we don't know the man. We have not seen him play. We have not seen him blend. And again, one of the things that was on social media, Chele sauce or Chele stew, we don't know what he's cooking for us yet. Until we see the first match, we don't know how he wants to play. We know that, or we have heard that he's an attacking kind of manager. And he's a major departure from the last two managers we had. Raw was conservative. He would build from defense. And once he scores one or two, he will shut down. Pesero was more attacking in his way. But when we got to AFCON, we saw that he went back to the defensive five-man defense and then build up. this Eric Shelley is said to be an attacking kind of manager. We all know that Nigeria has, our strength is attack. And if you're talking about three strikers, there would always be a very good person who will miss out. If we're talking about attacking half of the field, there will always be somebody who everybody thinks is very good. So all I'm saying is I will want to give him the benefit of the doubt. The proof is in the pudding. Let us see what he wants to do. Let us see how we perform against Rwanda before we start saying, he should have brought this person, he should have brought that person. Yes, there will always be people who have a legitimate claim.
Okay, Daffy, who are those for your own? See, this is his team. Daffy, which is your own team. Now, there are one or two persons, like if you look at it here, I believe would have been on this team. On your own, we have 11. We have about 8 strikers here. I mean, when you have an Osimhen and a Lookman, for goodness sake, every other person will be fighting, to be there. But then, among these 8, who do you think should have been there that is not there? For you, if you were to be Eric Chill, who is the coach of the senior national team, who you for take, who you for drop?
I would say the one, when we're looking at strikers, the one person that has been on many lips is Cyril Dessers of Rangers. He has done everything that he needs to do in order to be a pick. He's unfortunate. He has 6 previous caps. He has scored 2. That is one in every 3 games.
3 games, okay.
But for Rangers this year, he has been on fire. I think the problem is he has had a very tumultuous relationship with his previous coach and with the fans. He does his talking on the pitch, and he scores a lot of goals. I think he's the 2nd highest goal scorer in the Scottish League, probably the highest goal scorer with Rangers. But still, I don't know whether it is one of those things you either like him or hate him, and that. But Cyril Dessers, I think, did enough to be in this squad.
Okay. All right. Because we are seeing someone like Tolu, who is the top scorer in Belgium, who is part of the team. Probably do you think that is what they looked there? Cyril Dessers was looked over, and then Tolu was brought into the team.
It's quite possible. It's quite possible because Tolu is the highest goal scorer in the Belgian league at this point. And when you look at strength of league, Scotland and Belgium, they are more or less, there's not much difference between them. Okay. I think where Cyril might have an advantage is his performance in the Europa
League
as well. So that's the European competition against higher caliber teams, if you like.
Fenerbahce out. Hey, yeah. That was what happened, that guy. Why are you talking about? Okay, let's go to the midfield. Look how Ndidi is ever present there. At a point at Leicester, the guy was being, pushed forward, to come in. But then look how. Okay. They said we should start from the goalkeepers. So I'm sorry, David. Let's go back. Let's start from the goalkeeper. That's what they just put in for me here. So we should start with the goalkeepers. Stanley Nwabali has been number 1 goalkeeper. We thought he will move out of Chippa, but he is still there. And then we have Amas, and then we have Kayode Bankole. People say Kayode Bankole is not the first choice keeper in Remo Stars. I don't know. But then here we are with your, of course, Jimmy is also here. Jimmy will have his own input. But let's see about the goalkeepers. What is your take on the goalkeepers?
I think Maduka Okoye was unfortunate. He's been out since December. He came back just before the squad, the final 23 was announced. Maybe a little bit too late for him to be included. Okay. But the other goalkeeper there, Adebayo Adeleye in Cyprus, I would have picked him in place of Obasoge. Basically, Obasoge plays in, is it Tanzania? And we don't really see much of how he's performing there because the league there is not very visible. You don't get stats. You don't really see much apart from snippets here there on social media. So how he was assessed is basically down to the coach. But I would have, on the balance of everything, I would have picked Adeleye ahead of Obasogie.
Okay, so Nwabali retains number one. Is number one. He did stupendously well at the AFCON there. But then we know say we are played for and we have 3 points. So let's look at the midfielders. Like I said, with Fred Ndidi, Rafael Nyedika, Al Hassan Yusuf, and who came in place of the injured Frank Onyeka. Alex Iwobi, Joseph Ayodele, okay, Joseph Aribon, this long name. And then we have Daniel Mustafa, who is, a another home-based player who has just made the team. This inclusion of the home base, because everyone saying somebody from the home must play. I don't know. So why, what is your take actually? Let me just leave it that way.
If we're saying home base or not home base, the major overriding fact of this is Papa Daniel Mustafa has not played most of February and most of March. He has been out on the road trying to do what he needs to do, which is fair enough. He performed well during CHAN, but in a crucial World Cup qualifying series, where we need maximum points. We're not looking for 4 points. We're not looking for a win and a draw. We need 6 wins. We need players who are, one, in form, and number 2, are able to do the job. Yes, he might be able to do the job, but he has not played for a while. If you're going to pick somebody home base, at least be honest and make sure that the person that you have picked cannot be faulted in any way. There are some players in the NPFL who can make this squad, no doubt. But to pick somebody who hasn't played much in the last 6 weeks is unfortunate. Now, the 2 players or the 2 names who are missing from this midfield, of course, Frank Onyeka, who is doing very well in Germany, Bundesliga, a top 5 league. For Augsburg, and Uche for Getafe, who is doing, again, very well in Getafe in La Liga. Those 2 names are, it's very unfortunate that they are not in. The good thing is they are not that old that they will not fit in later. They still have time to fit in. But I wouldn't have picked Papa Daniel. If you want somebody from the MPFL, at least pick that person on merits, not because we want to fit.
Before Jimmy chips in, you also said here that based on his performance at CHAN, don't you think probably that was why that's a fine. When he was fit, he was able to do this. Can we now bring him in, to be part of the team?
Yeah, when was that CHAN match? That CHAN match was several months ago. Okay. And 4 weeks, even a month, is a long time in football. A player can lose form or a player can lose fitness in that time. We don't know what he has been doing. Yes, he might have been training, but is he match fit? And this fitness is about your fitness now, not what you did in January or in December.
Okay, all right. But Jimmy will come in, but I want to take a very short break. When we come back, that we'll have your overall take on the team and also what Jimmy feels. Are we prepared? Is this team good enough to win 6/6? Stay with us. All right, you're welcome back. It is the Channel Sport on Sunday. We're looking at the list of the Super Eagles, the final list, going there. But before we look at this, Jimmy, briefly, we've looked about the goalkeepers and the midfielders. Your take on what Daffy just said?
Okay, so I agree with Daffy in terms of the goalkeeper. I feel Adebayo Adeleye has done enough to end that place. It's been in and out, but I feel that ahead of Kayode Bankole and Obasogie, he should have been listed, and maybe even Ozomena was goalkeeper for Chan. Kayode Bankole also was in the team. Kayode Bankole has been benched by Obasa for Remo Stars. He's played 25% of the games. It's not as if he hasn't played at all. He's played 25% of games, and Obasa had played 75% of the games. So the question really is, a goalkeeper from Benin Republic has benched our own goalkeeper, but we are listing for this sort of very crucial game. So I would have some dissension with that. For the midfield, I feel like Dafe did say, it's important to look at what Frank Oyeka did and is still doing. I mean, it was more or less like our best midfielder at the AFCON. Did a lot more better than Ndidi. No, he's not injured. He's playing.
Why was it attacked? But probably attacked.
I think it was left out of the squad. But I would think that we need.
Did not make the first call up?
I think it was in the first.
It was in the first call up.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I don't know why it must have been left out. But for what we've been able to see him do, I think it's important to have someone like that. We call him Tank for a reason. The energy, the way he gives us some form of shape in that midfield is very important. And for Papa Daniel, I have, some form of, I disagree slightly with Daffy, because I know for one that he's on trials at Czech Republic. Kavina, there's a club, Kavina, in Czech Republic. We are expecting the announcement will be made any time from now. And I would look at it from the point of view, okay, where did he go on vacation? He was going there to play. And this is arguably the best midfielder we have in the NPFL as that today. We saw him at the Chan. After, the Chan, we had already qualified, we still saw what he's been able to do. So, yes, we have not been able to see the likes of Obasogie. We have not been able to see him he's gone for trials and all that. Should he be having, that sort of call up at this very crucial stage? But I would think that the performances of Alhassan Yusuf and, Aribo, they have not left us with anything to be comfortable about. Right. So why not Papa Daniel?
Okay. We're also going to open the lines now. You guys can join the discussion. We say we have other things on the board now, but let us trash this. Like we said, Motsepe is back. But let's quickly look at this, Daffy. The defenders, Trust Ekong. Okay, it's right there in Saudi Arabia. He played against Ororo in their last game against Cristiano Ronaldo. We have the brightest, Osai Samuel, whose team was dumped out by Cyril Dessa's Rangers. We have Bruno Nyemechi, Calvin Bassi. We've been seeing him, all power, all moving, everything. I think that is the tank, actually. We have Olo, I know. And then we have Igo Ogbu from Slaver Prig. You've seen this. Some of these defenders. Daffy, are you there? Is Daffy?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. So some of these players have been playing together. Olaino, Trust Ekong. They've been in that team. So what is your how do you look at this team? Do you see that synergy, that understanding? Do you see that covering that the goalkeeper needs? Because we are not about conceding goals. This that I want to, if we win by the odd goal, we need all we can. Do you think this defense is, how do I say, seal proof? Nothing is going to pass through them.
Yeah, I think our defense is solid. Again, I go back to that the word I used earlier, strength in depth. Because for everybody that drops out, there's another player that can come in.
Okay.
We haven't got Semi Ajayi in there. He's out injured, and we've not really felt it. We've also got Gabe Osho that came in previously. He's missed out this time, maybe because he's one of the latest, last in, first out. I'm not sure. But he's doing good things for Auxerre. And we mustn't forget Leon Balogun. For Rangers, he doesn't really play much in the league, but he plays in their big games. He plays in the Europa League. The last match that they played, he was on the pitch as well. So I think they're keeping him for their big games. And again, yes, he's getting. I don't want to say he's getting older or he still has that experience. He still has enough to play at the highest level. Okay. But if you ask me who to drop from this defense, I can't point a single name there that doesn't deserve to be in the team. So just go back to that strength in depth, and for every team that they call, some good players have to miss out.
Okay, so your overall pick, your overall take on it, do have a good team that you believe that can at least prosecute this 21st and 25th, Rwanda-Zimbabwe encounters? Yes,
we have enough to, without belittling the teams we are facing, we should always have enough to deal with Zimbabwe.
Okay.
We should always have enough to deal with Rwanda. But when we look at history, we don't always do well against Rwanda. Rwanda will always battle to get something away from us, even if it is 1 point. They're not going to be easy matches. But all things being equal, if our selection is on point, if our team management, if our match strategy and all of that is on point, we should have enough with the players in camp to get the maximum 6 points that is crucial, not that we need, that is crucial to survive so that we can be seen at the next World Cup.
Okay, no problem. Therefore, let's see what is going to happen. But before we come in next week Sunday, we would have played, would have played one and hoping to play the other. Thank you very much, Daffy. Thank you so much. We'll call on you while these things are on. You say? Okay. Did you follow the CAF elections? Jimmy just asked me.
Briefly, I followed it briefly. Yes, Amaju Pinnick did not make the FIFA Council. Yes, he has done quite a lot for Nigerian football. He has been in seats since what, 2016 or 2015?
2014.
I can't remember.
2014.
He's been there. He has done his parts for the country, for the NFF, for Nigeria. It's now time to re-strategize because, again, I think you mentioned there are no Anglophone representatives there. So we're now on the back foot, but it's time to go back, rejig what we're doing so that we can come out strong because we need a presence on that council. Because when decisions are being made, we want to make sure that they do not hurt us. That is what I take. But did I follow it? On the day of elections, I was following how the voting was going. We presented ourselves, we lost, dust ourselves off, and re-strategize and come back stronger.
Okay, thank you so much, David. Let's leave it there because I think definitely we'll have enough time probably in the next few weeks to look at at the new team. They have a 4-year term, so basically let's see how that is going to happen. Thank you, David. I want to thank you once again for being part of the show.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Jimmy, and thank you all the viewers for listening.
All right. Okay, you just saw those lists, and I want us to see if we can look at that list there because. That is the expo, but the real man is not there. Where is Patrice Motsepe? Where is his name? These are the General Assembly guys. He used to own Mamelodi Sundowns.
Yes.
But now I think he has transferred the ownership to the family trust that own Mamelodi Sundowns. He's coming back. Jimmy, he talked about infrastructure. He talked about competition of the African teams and other things. Financial stability. competitiveness, infrastructural development. That is the main thrust, the three things that he's talking about. That he said, look, this is what. Did you see him do that in the past 4 years?
I think he actually did well. Maybe not the best he could have done, but I feel in terms of commercial exposition, in terms of what they're able to do, putting more money for women football, putting in more money in terms of the commercials. Because if you look at it critically, it is why we are now saying the AFCON is a super competition. When Jamie Carragher actually talked about a little competition, you saw how, facts and figures started emerging. And clearly you can see that, AFCON is not the AFCON it used to be. And it is because there is a leader with that vision, making sure in terms of whether infrastructure, in terms of organization, in terms of player welfare and also women's football, we are having it a lot more better. So for me, I think he's done pretty well and he deserves to have gotten this.
Okay, we really want to open the lines now. I want you guys to join us. Why this is on those of you who have our numbers, but the numbers will flash right there on your screen so that you can join the discussion. Let's look at how the vote, because a lot have been said about our own Amaju Pinnick losing out by a vote. He scored 28, while the guys went. Let us look at that score again. You just showed us how they fared. Somebody scoring
29-28.
For 49 votes.
And I think what's most instructive is that Fauzi Legja had taken RS Bekani some years ago. RS Bekani was nowhere to be found, but right now they are the champions of Morocco. He was the one that led the vision. You can see Bekani is doing really, really well. So it's not just about being in position. What exactly have you been able to do? How are you positioning yourself? Right. Using the wheels of organic club development and all that. So Fauzi Legja had 49 votes. Ani Aburida of Egypt had 35 votes. Jibrila Ima Amidu, Niger Republic, 35 votes. Ahmed Yaya, Mauritania, 29 votes. Suleiman Azan Waberi of Djibouti, 29 votes. And basically, Amaju Pinnick was ousted because he had 28. Okay. So for the females, Kanizat Ibrahim of Comoros Island had 30 votes.
You've just... To me, because a lot of politics and have been coming in. We had Amaju Pinnick did say he went to 30. He visited over 30 countries in the last few weeks leading up to this. Did you think one is been there for 4 years? Has he not been able to build or that relationship with others? Or did the federal government not support him? Because we saw the DG saying, okay, we went to Egypt. Is it just at the last minute to go and campaign at the venue? Should they have started this earlier? I mean, a lot of questions begging for answers. But what is your insight in this? Because when you enter into, you've been in the committee, like you said, it is those who are going to vote are the FA presidents of the various countries. It is a closed. It's not an open voting. It's a closed voting. The number that 54 persons are going to vote, and then each of these nations, how have you related? Have you been able to relate with them? Get personal relationship, get their confidence. Okay, let's go to Akute before you take that. Hello, Emmanuel. How are you?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
The moderator, Mr. Jimmy.
Thank you.
My own take on the aspect of the list made by the newly appointed coach. Every coach has a way of doing their thing. We cannot but say that he has no ground. One thing about every coach is that it is your psyche towards your player that determines a lot of things to achieve.
Exactly.
You might not be having the best of the best, but when you are able to put them right and tell them that this thing we are to achieve it together, greatness will come. So when you look at the game between Liverpool and PSG is not parading much names. They are only walking in line for the fact that they have something to achieve. When we look at the Liverpool side, they have a lot of names to be mentioned. That is what we call football. Telling them that they can do it, even when they are not having enough resources towards that. That is the take on Super Eagles. We are going to do well. The coach has the record. He has done some other groundwork. There's no problem about that one. But coming back to the CAF representative, the CAF president he has really done well in terms of handling some issues within the African terrain. Look at what happened when these people wanted to treat us badly. The way he took the matter. And
the Libya, yeah.
In Libya. So I thought it's different to other people that they will not misbehave or toy with players. So he has a lot of things to do. But coming to Ahmadu Pinnick, since ever he left NSA or NSF, he has not been functioning like the way we are saying it. So people are watching. So when you think that people are not looking at what you are doing, you are only fooling yourself. So he needs to do more work. So that is what has played out. Look at this man from a newly created boy, Samuel Eto'o. See the way he fought out, and he's now being a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
So when you are doing things in life, you should be able to use your sense of belonging in creating or achieving a lot of things. So people are seeing what you are doing. You're gonna do this that you can just do whatever you like. People are watching. People want to get results, and that is what is playing out. So that's just my take on what I've just heard from you people. You people are doing wonderfully well. I appreciate you more.
Thank you, Manuel.
You do have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, you just talked about Samuel Eto'o Fields. Eto'o Fields, was suspended by FIFA, suspended by CAF, and then but in January they removed his name because he has an endorsement with a betting company. So they removed his name and fined him $200,000 that he should pay. He was not eligible to contest. So he took his case to CAF. He went to Switzerland, and just less than a week to the election, that is when CAF ruling came out and said they quashed the suspension, directed CAF to put his name back for election, and zoom. Before I tell you this, I think he was one of those 5 vice presidents that Motsepe is going to choose. He's still the president of the Cameroonian Football Federation, and he's there. This man, I tell you, I don't know what to say about him, but he is, he wins 4-time African Footballer of the Year. He won the AFCON. Yeah. He won the Olympic. He won the Champions League. Scored in back-to-back Champions League finals.
Ken, to even think that in Cameroon, at a point in time, they wanted to oust him.
Of course.
Absolutely, because there were potpourri of allegations against him,
that he was
bordering on corruption, match fixing, authoritarianism, he wasn't taking care of a daughter or whatever. Too many, allegations against him. But right now, we have seen his one ESCO seat. And for me, I think it's noteworthy that CAS could even come up with that judgment, because ordinarily, you look at it, I feel, looking at it now and critically too, the bloc politics favored him, because if you look at it critically, Niger, Mauritania,
he came in on a post.
It looks, but I'm saying that the entire ecosystem right now looks to be a little bit in favor of the Francophone bloc. So you look at Comoros, Djibouti, ahead of Nigeria. I think we should be worried in terms of our diplomatic, our sports diplomacy.
Jimmy,
it's very, very important.
Jimmy, I will look at this later on. You understand? Because to me, I'm speaking personally here. Yes, not whatever it is. Sure. We've seen people represent us at this level. Yeah. We've seen Orokoyo. We've seen Amos Adamu. We've seen a lot of them have been there. Yeah. And so you can look at what is the impact that we as a nation has gotten within that. Jimmy, Motsepe is talking about infrastructure. We have only one standard stadium in Nigeria.
True.
One.
True.
Built by Gospel Akpabio.
True.
Apart from that Gospel Akpabio stadium, there is none that counts is fit enough to host a competition.
Absolutely.
We are talking at that level. I mean, if you look at the before the Amos Adamu, before the other time, but the Orokoyo times, how was Ogbe Stadium built? How was Lipadi Stadium built? How was Ahmadu Bello Stadium built? How was Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium built? We have whatever it is.
Emmanuel says something.
Yes.
And I also think it now boils down to project delivery. Look at the goal project, for example. How are they being able to deliver the goal project?
What have they attracted from CAF and from FIFA?
So all of these things, at times, the ripple effect, when it does come out, you will be shocked. Okay, why did it happen? Why?
Jimmy,
people are watching like
go and see what FIFA is doing in Mauritania.
Exactly.
Go and see what they're doing in Mauritania. So what have you attracted to Nigerian football?
And what you have attracted,
yes.
What exactly has been, like the ripple effect of what you've been able to attract? Look at Senegal, look at Morocco. We continue to talk about infrastructure. We will continue to talk about it. Else.
Internally and externally, how influential have you been there? You understand? We were here on this show we fought day in, day out to say sports should be removed from Ministry of Sport and Youth Development. Sports should stand on their own because the funding was abysmal. I've got one that comes in there, we have less than 10% of the funding going to a ministry for sport development. Now, how have we been able to talk to the Federal Executive Council? How have we been able to influence the president? How have we been able to say, look, we are suffering in this particular sector. How do we move? Are you getting me?
Yeah.
We every time we want our players to go and train outside Nigeria because lack of even training. Individuals can build gym. Look at Remo Stars. Look, now we are going to play all our games at Remo Stars, built by one man, by one individual.
Ken,
So
I hope you just take it as a
thing.
watershed moment for our administrators to do right. Because, like Emmanuel did say, people are watching. Now, there is work to be done. What do our administrators need to do? Take this as an example to, accelerate whatever you need to get done. Because people are watching. And at the end of the day,
let's talk about the MPFL.
Yes. I know you are exasperated, but rightfully so. Again, let it be said, our administrators, regardless of the sport, they need to take this as a watershed moment that, yes, we need to change the narrative. And the only one that can change it is them.
Jimmy, let us do an assessment of all the people we have sent to represent us at CAF and at FIFA within their period. What did you bring? How has your tenure affected sports development? It's as simple as that. It is not sentiment. It's not sentiment. This man is for me or this man is against me. Let us say, because a lot of some narrators are coming, whatever we want to color, we want to do whatever it is. See, these are not personal.
There's no point coloring anything.
There is no coloration here. These are black and white. Let us understand it. What did we gain? I mean, did we go to the last World Cup?
At all.
Did we qualify?
At all.
We did not qualify. If that is a tournament, we did not go. Development, we don't have. So on what basis, on what area are you looking at say this is where you want to point out and say this is what we've done? On what area?
It's a sad commentary.
Which aspects? So basically, let us see it. I mean, when the likes of Patrick Obama were all there. We were all looking and saying, we were there.
At least we had measurables. There were metrics we were following and we could see what they were doing.
We have Abraham Odia. I mean, we all know what at that point in time that when you see the respect, you see whatever that when they speak, Nigeria has. I mean, when Nigeria talks, Nigeria is talking.
It's a sad one for us.
Nigeria is talking. So we should not come over there and then go over there and trivialize and look at it and say this is okay. We are contesting with the Republic of Benin. We are contesting with Comoros. We are saying this. How prepared are we? Did we know what? It's either you go to contest and we don't contest at all.
At all, I agree. Absolutely.
That is just the thing. But at the end of the day, what is the benefit? What has come back to Nigeria? That is what matters. We talk sports development here. We talk about grassroots. That is how it is. How have you galvanized? What have you put in there? What have you put in place? What have you championed? What have you sown?
Absolutely.
Let's look at MPFL. Let's look at MPFL. Like I said today, there are a lot of fixtures that are going on there, and it is up. It's up there because Remo Stars look unstoppable. Rivers United have taken, they just overthrown Shooting Stars and come back to second. So that battle, Shooting at a point.
At a point they were
at a point they were ready. It's like they've sealed that. They've sealed that. And yesterday, that is Friday's result. Niger Tornadoes did beat Kwara. And yesterday it was Rangers beating Owola First Kwara United 3-0. I think they scored in the very first minute of that game. The first goal came in the blaze before they come in there. And then those Kwara, well, let's see, Kwara, they're not in danger now.
They're not in danger.
They're not in danger. So let's see how they are going to go there. I know a lot of English football fans are already, because today it will be Chelsea, Arsenal taking on Chelsea. That is a glittering. In fact, there are two London derbies taking on, going on today.
Yeah.
But
Fulham Tottenham also.
Fulham taking on so that is it. But the major one is the Carabao Cup. I just talked about myself and Jim when we came in here, and we look at Liverpool taking on Newcastle. I don't understand. Like I said, Newcastle since 1955. Jimmy's talking about the first cup. I know that trophy. But the last time Newcastle was untouchable was in 1955 when they did win the FA Cup, and that's the last one. You know, the last time they won the league was, you know, was it 27 or 20, whatever it is. You know, they won, you know, 4 league titles. So we are talking about in 70 years, Newcastle have not won anything. I don't know. I wanted to check something. The population of the world. How many people are, you know, 70 and above? Let us know the percentage of those who are there.
Okay,
the last time.
Why are you why are you interested in that statistics? But I mean, it's going to be a very good game. A very good game.
But I'm rooting for Newcastle. I'm sorry, but I'm rooting for. I want this life to be fair.
I wanted to root for Newcastle, but because you are rooting for Newcastle, I will not want you to walk alone.
Okay. Oh, no. Jimmy, did you see what Jimmy did there? Jimmy says he's supporting Newcastle. I remember he wanted Liverpool to win because I don't want them to walk alone. You can't see what he did. He did something there. So
I mean, Slot is just benefiting from all the hard work Klopp had done. I mean, it's
no. Absolutely. No. I totally.
And I also think that Liverpool is just enjoying the fact that all the other teams are underperforming. They are playing just buckling football.
The hard work Klopp has done. Klopp was in Liverpool before Pep.
The only reason why you are acknowledging Slot now is because it's his first season.
Jimmy, he's not only one to come in the first season. Mourinho came into the first season and won the league. Mourinho came in the first season and won the league. So Slot came in the first season.
Mourinho had done wonders before he came in. Before he came to EPL, he had done wonders.
Those who recruited Slot,
they know he's.
I like
what about those that Amorim? Or the ones that recruited Amorim?
They're not in the question. Anyway,
why are you leaving Amorim out of the question?
Manchester United will play. They will play Ruud van Nistelrooy today. Did I say Ruud van Nistelrooy?
I don't know how you got.
They will take it on Leicester City.
Yeah.
For me, the APL is done and dusted. I mean, we already. To me, the winner is Liverpool. Liverpool will win the league. I mean, I don't say how monumental disaster is going to happen.
Exactly.
Unless there's good. Okay.
We have to go.
They said we have to go.
So, I mean, for all our administrators, I think it's important that we don't have Ken having to vent and rant like this. Please do the right things.
Anyway, let's hope. We're back next week, which we can see what we bring in some veterans on this show. We've been trying to gather them, so that the heroes. Is it of our heroes past, or the sort of our heroes past?
The
labor of our heroes past.
Yeah.
Jimmy, you should be correcting me. The labors of our heroes past should never ever be in vain. We shall recognize them here or bring them there, and for all those joys they've given you, that's how it should be. Until we see you next week, I'm Ken Ochonogo. God bless Nigeria.